Stephen Willis. I have a background of being a fundamentalist, Bible-believing Christian. It's awkward to admit, but I bought it hook, line, and sinker to the point that I thought that there were even Satanist Illuminati conspiracies. In fact, there were certain brands, music, and other things I'd avoid as if I could catch Satanism from them or something. You can imagine how funny it was to me when I found out the Church of Satan is actually an atheist activist group. With the conspiracy mindset of the Church of Scientology, did you have similar experiences in avoiding certain things? I heard one former Scientologist saying that their mother would always buy those cheap off-brand generic plasters instead of Band-Aids because apparently Johnson & Johnson has a large psychiatric drug business and she didn't want to give them money. Did you ever experience or see anything like that, or is that example more of an outlier? Well, in terms of boycotting products or movies or merchandise or something like that, there's not really a lot of that comes to mind that I recall particularly. We had rules in the Sea Org about avoiding any scented products, and that was a direct rule of L. Ron Hubbard's. So that wasn't so much a boycott as it was just following the rules. We had to get unscented soap, unscented shampoo, unscented everything. And some people in the Sea Org were really sticklers about that. Most people didn't really care too much, but it was kind of a thing because Hubbard said it was a thing. We would avoid movies or any form of entertainment that had anything having to do with anti-Scientology stuff in it or pro-psych stuff. And that was pretty much the sort of thing we would be on the lookout for, was anything that pushed a pro-psychiatric message or had movie stars acting as psychiatrists or psychologists or something. They were always objects of ridicule and scorn for Scientologists, so we would avoid anything like that. Not necessarily like, okay, I can't see that movie, but it was more like, okay, well, maybe it's a good movie, but that actor really, you know, I didn't like him because he was a psych or something, you know. We had to, I was told, for example, to avoid Bowfinger that had Eddie Murphy in it because Terrence Stamp, I think, plays a guy who's clearly a parody of L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. I think they call it Mindhead. I never actually did end up seeing the whole movie, but we'd hear about things like that and learn to avoid that sort of thing. And also, of course, we had to avoid any kind of anti-Scientology materials in the bookstores. I was in the bookstores all the time, and I remember reading about, you know, A Piece of Blue Sky. You got to avoid that, you know, this John Atack book. There were certain books that I think I remember seeing a list one time of suppressive books or books put out by suppressive people, and that was one of them. But as far as avoiding places to eat or places to shop or something, I don't really recall anything like that. I've seen more of that out in the big wide world since I left Scientology, with people boycotting Hobby Lobby or Papa John's Pizza or Walmart or something, you know, because they're protesting unfair trade practices or the religious component of the ownership of these companies, and they, you know, kind of get down like Chick-fil-A, you know, I'm not going to eat at Chick-fil-A, screw those guys. You know, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A because I don't like their food. I don't think it's very good fast food. Not because I don't, you know, because I want to stick it to them because they have Christian beliefs. I don't really care too much about that. You know, but I do get the point. I mean, I understand when people have a moral objection to something. I don't make fun of them or say that that's, you know, stupid. I just don't particularly agree with it. So I boycotted Walmart for a while because I was really angry at the unfair practices, and then I realized I wasn't exactly bringing Walmart to their knees. And they do have some really good deals, and sometimes I don't have a lot of money, so it makes sense to go shop there for certain things. So anyway, you know, I think you get my point. In the Church of Scientology, unless we were specifically ordered to avoid some place, and again, I can't even recall a time where that ever really happened. There was a hair cutter who was around the corner from the PAC base, the big blue buildings, who I'm now Facebook friends with, who was anti-Scientology, and she had anti-Scientology stuff in her window. And she was always trying to appeal to the Sea Org members around the area, and we were told to avoid her. But that was a very, very specific case. So that's my best answer for you.